In today's video, we're talking about how you can use YouTube for marketing your business. YouTube can be an amazingly lucrative platform for any entrepreneur, no matter what industry you're in, or no matter if you consider yourself a natural entertainer or not. First, I want to explain the #1 key to getting your audience's attention in any video. Then I want to give you my 2 best tips for optimizing your YouTube channel, whether you're a newbie or whether you've had a channel for a while. I'm going to show you how you can optimize. Then I'll show you how YouTube can result in massive cash flow for your business, and I'm not just talking about AdSense dollars. And then I'll tell you the story about how some legendary entrepreneurs like Damon John from Shark Tank and LinkedIn, the LinkedIn platform, found me through YouTube and then became my clients. Let's first start by talking about the #1 key to grab your audience's attention in any video. Now, this is important because if you don't have your audience's attention, what do you have? These videos are meant to grab your audience's attention and be able to retain them through and then lead them towards the next step, whether that's a call to action to a lead magnet or your email list or the next video. So how do you get your audience's attention? First of all, YouTube is a search engine. So when you create content based on what people are searching for in the Google search bar or the YouTube search bar, that's a way to quickly grab your audience's attention because you're going to be putting out videos based on things that they're already looking for. When people have a problem, they go to YouTube or they go to Google, type in their question, voila, your answer might show up in a video. Now, here's the most important part is just because you have a video that might answer that question, there's a lot of competition on YouTube that is competing for that space. There could be tons of videos on the same topic. So how do you grab their attention? Well, there's things like the title of your video, the thumbnail. Have you ever noticed your behavior when you type something into search and you have a few different options? Which one do you pick and why do you pick it? So think about that when you're creating your videos. How can you make yours stand out? Now, next, when they click on your video and start watching it, your audience still has a short attention span, so you gotta hook them in. And that's gonna be really important to do right at the beginning of the video. If they feel like it's taking too long to get started or it's slow moving, they might see some other videos that are posted next to yours and click away and watch a different one instead. So you have to hook their attention right from the beginning. You might do this through a really engaging, captivating first sentence where you give them a promise of something that they can look forward to in the video. You can do this through emotion or humor or tugging at their heartstrings. Think about when you first start watching a TV show, whether it's a soap opera or a sitcom. How does it grab your attention? Maybe the first line, if you think of maybe a show like Friends, Joey comes onto the screen, he says something hilarious and it captures your attention. You want to keep watching. The other thing that you might notice is when you're watching any regular TV show, what happens right before the commercial break? There's typically some sort of a cliffhanger that you're like, oh my gosh, I gotta see what happens. I can't wait for this commercial break to be over. How can you do that in your YouTube videos too? You may notice at the beginning of this video, I told you what you could look forward to in this video. I gave you a few things that I was gonna talk about this and this and this. And those become open loops, or what you can call as cliffhanger content. It creates this question in your audience's mind of what happens next, or how do I find out that information? And it creates retention throughout your video for them to be able to close those loops. So think about that when you're creating your content. How can you create curiosity hooks right at the beginning that's going to keep your audience retained to the end? Now, there's so many reasons why I'm sure you can understand this is important, that you have an audience that's watching, but the other benefit that you might not realize is that YouTube is going to rank your videos based on how much you keep people watching. YouTube is going to reward creators who keep their audience on their channel. So if you have a video that's 10 minutes long, people are loving it, they're watching it all the way through, compared to a video that's 10 minutes long and people are only staying for 10 seconds, which video do you think YouTube is going to boost to the top of search results? It seems obvious. Of course, they want to be able to put content in front of people that people will keep coming back for. So with that said, what kind of curiosity hooks are you putting in your videos? And I'd also love to know, what topics do you speak on? And share in the comments below what your YouTube channel is all about. Next, let's talk about the 2 best tips for optimizing your YouTube channel. Now, these are important whether your channel is brand new or if you've had it for a while. This is really important to always have your YouTube channel optimized. The first thing is to remember, like I said before, that YouTube is a search engine. People are going to be finding your videos based on search engine optimization. Let me tell you about a mistake that I made when I first started my YouTube channel and didn't realize the power of YouTube. I was trying to make my videos with these clickbaity titles and I was talking about social media. I made a video called, "Did you know Instagram does this?" Now, can you understand what the problem with that is? People aren't typing into the search bar, did you know Instagram does this? They're searching for things like how to make money on Instagram, how to use Instagram stories. So how can you create your videos and title them based on what people are searching for? Now there's tons of tools that you can use for this keyword research. I'd recommend things like SEMrush, TubeBuddy, Keywords Everywhere, and that way it's going to show you how people are searching for things so that you can title your videos accordingly. The second tip for optimizing your YouTube channel is to have clear branding. So that means when people come to your page, there's that very clear YouTube channel art. It's like the banner at the top of your channel that maybe there's a picture of you, maybe the title of your channel, maybe you also have a little announcement there of what your videos are about or how frequently you put out videos, and a call to action inviting people to subscribe. On the front page of your YouTube channel, you can also categorize your videos into lists. You can also have a first video that you want people to see. Maybe you make a channel trailer or you put your most recent upload there. That way when people come to your channel, they have so many ideas and so many options for what they can look at. There's also an about page where you can put all of your information, contact information, a bio, links to your other social media channels, and you can also utilize the community tab to actually interact with your audience in a place other than the comments under your video. You can use that tab to make status updates. You can have things like questions and polls. That way you can get some interaction with your audience and maybe directly ask them what kind of content they would like to see from you. Now here's the fun part. Let's talk about how YouTube can actually result in massive cash flow for your business. When I started my YouTube channel back in 2016, I had no idea. I couldn't have even dreamed that I would turn this into a 7-figure business, and it's very possible for you too. Even if you are working from home, wherever you are in the world, as long as you have an internet connection and a camera. And that camera can be something as simple as your iPhone. So we've talked about using search engine optimization for people to be able to find your videos. We've talked about putting hooks and curiosity, intriguing your audience to be able to watch all the way through your video. Now, what's the next step after they watch through your video that can lead to monetization? You may know that YouTube has an AdSense program where they'll pay you for every time that people watch an ad before your video, and that can accumulate and you can make great money from that. But that's also going to take time to build. And you don't control that platform, but what you can control is your email list and your offers. What I recommend doing is if you can have calls to action at the end of your video where you say something like, hey, and now I have a free gift for you. If you click the link below, you can get access to my, and maybe you send them an ebook or a checklist or a video series or a webinar, something that's gonna help them further with whatever problem you first originally solved in that YouTube video that they were watching. What this does is they're gonna submit their email address, receive that thing that you sent them, and now you own that email list. With that email list, you can nurture those relationships and be able to bring them into your products or services that you can offer them. So at the end of your video, you'll say, hey, I have this thing for you, click the link below. So you verbally say it in your video. And now in the description, you're gonna put that link where they can go and get even more value from you. Does that sound easy enough? Do you think you can do that? Well, I'm gonna share with you how I do this, how I've been doing this for years, and it's even led to me getting some awesome celebrity clients. But before I get into this story, make sure you hit that subscribe button, subscribe to this channel, because I'm putting out more videos like this every single week. When I first started my YouTube channel, I was just answering frequently asked questions that my clients were asking. I was doing a little social media work on the side while I was a dental hygienist at the time, can you believe it? And I was answering questions that I would get all the time so that instead of repeating my answer all the time, I could just send them to a very helpful video. At the time, I didn't know anything about having curiosity hooks in my videos or calls to action to be able to lead them to the next step, like my email list, but I was still putting out some valuable videos. And over time, when they started to gain traction, that's where I realized this is a pot of gold here. I could be optimizing these further. And that's where I did the studying to learn how to optimize these videos, include the curiosity hooks and the calls to action. What happened from there is incredible. From there, these videos, every single time I put out a video, it becomes an asset for my business. It's almost like owning real estate on the internet. Every video you put out can be generating leads and revenue for you. And the thing is, you never know who's watching. The people at LinkedIn happened to come across my videos because they were looking for an expert who knew a little something about Canva. And if you go to YouTube, search right now and you type in Canva, out of millions of results, my video comes up in the first spot. Well, they reached out to me and asked me if they could fly me out to their studios in California and become a LinkedIn author for them, creating content for their LinkedIn learning platform, which is advertised to their millions of users. What an amazing opportunity. Isn't that so cool to think you never know where your next opportunity could be coming from? Little did I know, my next exciting celebrity client was also keeping tabs on my channel. Someone from Damon John's team, you know, Damon John, the people's shark from Shark Tank, was watching my channel, learning some things that I was teaching them, and then they reached out to me also interested in having me fly out to their offices in New York and create their customized content strategy. So I share that with you to let you know that even though you're putting out free content, you can be leading that into big high ticket clients and opportunities for you. Now, hopefully that was helpful for you. And if you want to know more about creating content that converts, I actually have a full training. It's called How to Create 6 Months of Cash Flowing Content in 3 Days Without Publishing Your Face Off for Months with No Return. If you click the link below, I'm going to give you free access to that today. So go check it out.